South of Midnight, a game that is definitely divisive to some, even though it doesn't necessarily make sense. And to others, especially Black people and people of color, it is a game that brings forth representation and it allows us to actually see ourselves within the medium that we love. In today's video, you're going to be listening to a discussion that I recently had on my stream over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/nerdstorm92, where I discussed South of Midnight with some good friends of mine, soCerena and CGDannyB. So if you're looking to hear some Black perspectives about this game, sit back and watch. Welcome in, everybody. So obviously, as I stated in the title and whatnot, y'all can see we are going to be discussing South of Midnight. Obviously, this is a game that has been in the works for some time, and it's got a Black female lead, which I was the most excited about and whatnot. But yeah, first and foremost, let me introduce my guest here today. So we have soCerena here, first time on the channel, and we also have CGDannyB here. What's goody? What's goody? What's goody?
Hi, gamers.
Hello.
You're beautiful today. Except one
guys.
of you.
That's crazy.
Oh,
That's crazy.
who's that?
I won't say which one. They can figure it out.
All right. So first and foremost, one of the main things that I want to ask y'all, when the game was first announced, obviously like that first trailer that we saw, it was, it was that stop motion animation, which was one of the first things that caught my eye. And then we saw that we had a Black female lead, and that was the second and most important thing, obviously, that got me excited about the game. But let me hear what y'all thoughts were when you first heard about South of Midnight. soCerena, you want to go first?
I was so excited. Like, what did I see it on some type of direct or some type of PlayStation?
Yeah, I think it was
trailer?
I think it was the Xbox game show.
Xbox's
Xbox
Summer
game.
Showcase 23, I think.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Yes. And once I seen that, literally once I seen Hazel, I was like, oh yeah, this is the game for me. I just need a Black protagonist.
Right,
I'm
right.
sorry. That's all it takes for me. I'm easy like that. But I was like, the stop motion looks really cool. I've never played a stop motion type game. So I was like, you know what? It looks really cool. Looks really different. And then it had like the Southern aspect of it.
Right.
And I seen some people saying, oh, it might be like type of Souls like, but I don't know. I like Elden Ring and stuff like that. So I was like, that's kind of cool also. And then I don't really know a lot about the South, So I was like, that's also cool. Like they just brought in a lot of cultural things, and I was really surprised, and I went to go look up who was making it, all of that, and I was really excited. I mean, I know for a fact I was gonna play it. I don't really play Xbox games that much, and I don't have Game Pass, but I knew for a fact that one I was gonna play.
Okay, all right, Danny, what about you?
Oh yeah. Back in again, I think it was the summer Xbox Showcase of 23. Like we were, as a PlayStation fan who wants to see Xbox succeed, because a better Xbox means a better PlayStation. But Xbox was in that rut of like, what games do we have? And we had Halo Infinite, which was, and then all these other games that were very like lukewarm. People weren't loving them. Like there wasn't really a reason to buy an Xbox. Right. So the showcase, we got to see like a bunch of dope games. Like we saw Clockwork Revolution, which is still like being worked on. We don't know too much about it. We've got things like Perfect Dark coming out and Fable, and like more to see for Xbox. And South of Midnight was definitely like a sleeper one in that showcase. But a lot of people who looked like us were like, fuck yeah, let's go. Oh my God. And I absolutely adore the vibe of the game. Yeah, we already talked, the stop motion looks great. Seeing Hazel, I'm like, oh, she looks so good. This is a great style. I love it. And then just seeing all the things in this world. We're talking like the catfish. We're talking the other character designs. Like there's so much heart and love in the style of this game just from that first trailer. And I'm like, I'm so in. And this has been like the Xbox game I've been staring at for a couple years now. And now that it was like finally here, it just didn't feel real. I was like, oh yeah, this game's not out yet. And then it was in my hands. I'm like, oh, this game's here. I'm excited. I'm having so much fun.
Crafty, what's goody? Medic, what's up? What's up? What's up? Thank y'all for the follows. TK and Supreme, appreciate y'all. For me, again, like I was saying, the simple fact that we had a Black female lead, especially with Hazel being in the Deep South, that was something that I was super excited about because I'm from North Carolina, so not necessarily like super super deep South, but still it's down there.
You from North Carolina, not even the South. Okay. I mean, let me stop you.
Just a little south, but not all the south. Just a little south,
bit, just a little bit. But yeah, it was definitely something that I was super excited about because it was going to be diving into Black Southern folklore and whatnot. So that was just something that I was like super super looking forward to. I guess my next question to y'all would be, when you first started playing the game, like the first couple hours, what were some of y'all's first impressions?
So
do you want to first?
Sure, I'll go first. We'll popcorn back and forth. Yeah. So, for context of me playing this game, it's been a little bit of a struggle bus to get going because my PC does not like this game for some reason. I'm running it through Game Pass. Whatever controller I try to use is just hypersensitive. So like if I go to look up, it's just wham. If I go to look down, it's all the way down. So there is no comfort right now on my PC. So I've tried to play it on my phone through xCloud. It's fine. It's not great. And I don't have a new gen Xbox. So I've been playing it through the cloud on my Xbox One for the last couple days. So it's not perfect. There's a little bit of input lag where like I have to adjust and like get better at the combat. All of that aside, immediate just infatuation with the characters and the world, which I already said during like the little preamble, like what I thought about this game. But like you start off with Hazel, she's cleaning up the house, like packing up because storm's coming in, like we got to get out of here, but mom's nowhere to be seen. And then as mom shows up, go check on the neighbors, storm kicks in, mom gets carried away, and then all of a sudden this like super cool fantasy aspect kicks in, and then you see more of these, I don't want to go as far to say like vibrant colors, but just such a like New Orleans stylistic look at everything. And it's so great, and falling into this world and seeing the team over at Compulsion work to make this like really dope, super linear but still feels really full and has a little bit of room to explore type of experience. Like that's all I want. Open world games don't do it for me anymore. I don't have the time. I don't have the 100+ hours to explore an Assassin's Creed. I got too many other things to play. So having a comfortable like 9 to 12 hour experience that is still so rich in like narrative, characters, and everything else is great. The combat, I can take it or leave it. It's serviceable. I don't think it's bad, but like there's other games like Devil May Cry or things that definitely feel a lot better. But I think the combat suits the game for what it is. So it's probably the weak point, I think, in those first couple hours, but still love it.
Serena, what about you?
Yeah, I definitely feel what Danny was saying. When I first started playing the game, I was playing on mouse and keyboard, and I just really wanted to play on controller, but I was trying to set up stream, I was trying to record for YouTube, it was too much, and I forgot that I have to set up the DS4, Windows, all that stuff. So the first time I played it, it was on mouse and keyboard. It was a little, I think like one thing that people might not know about the game until they play it is that they introduce a lot of mechanics and a lot of skills like very early on. Like you learn a lot of stuff. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out a lot of keys and get myself together because I really wanted to play it on controller, but I couldn't at that time. But immediately I thought that the game was beautiful. Like I really liked how they did the lighting. I'm not too big on game, how they make games and develop games and stuff like that, but the lighting in it is really nice. My game was running it pretty smooth. I was playing it on Xbox Game Pass too. Okay. But it was pretty smooth. I would just say the controls sometimes, like there might be a little bit of input lag now that you say it, because when I like during combat, when I'm trying to, extract the things at the end once you kill them, yep. I swear I kept pressing it. It was not working that time. And I don't know why. Yep. I don't know why. And I thought it was just me, but that could, that's something I noticed, but it didn't take away from the game from me because it didn't really hinder me that much. But I thought the characters were great. The whole storyline of the parent like getting swiped away, her mom getting swiped away in the house, that was crazy. I didn't expect it to be like that. And then they just really started introducing a lot of themes that were very like reminded me of a lot of like African folklore and just stuff about the deep South that I probably wouldn't recognize since I'm from New York. I'm not from the South, and I haven't really gone to the South that much, but it was just very interesting. And the voice actors were great. I love Hazel's voice actor also. The little scene where her and her mom, loved it. It just feels like home. It just feels like a game. Even though I'm not from the South, it just feels like a game that they really had people of color working on it, people like us who know about the culture and stuff and making it. So it really made me feel like I was playing a game that I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life, because it really gave me a sense of home feeling. And yeah, I would say the combat, I like the combat. I do think it is a little bit repetitive, but I think it is, just like what Danny said, it's good for what it is. Like, it doesn't, I'm a big story person, so I'm mainly going for the story, but I will beat them up. I will beat them up. It'll take a little second to beat them up, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel the exact same way. Oh, and Crafty, yes, this will be on YouTube at some point, probably in the next couple of days. TK, again, thank you for the follow and welcome in. But yeah, I feel the exact same way, specifically as far as the combat is concerned, because as far as like the whole story or just the game in general, it kind of gave me like some of those old school Naughty Dog type vibes, like with, you know, Jack and Dexter or like Sly Cooper, like that linear style game play. But obviously it has heavy influences within, you know, Black culture and whatnot, and that's what really got me excited. Just, you know, again, like y'all said, seeing interactions between Hazel and her mom, Hazel and some of her neighbors there in the beginning, and then just Hazel learning about different things throughout the world and like just seeing different stuff, especially when she started to see a lot of the I guess you would say like previous weavers, like the one where she's seeing the slaves essentially be freed, which I was assuming was the Underground Railroad and whatnot. Right. But yeah, I thought that was, you know, a nice touch. I understand some people might feel a certain type of way about that. They might be a little sensitive towards things like that. But again, I thoroughly enjoyed all that. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoy all the Black folklore and everything, and it was definitely good. I do want to ask y'all, as far as the specific themes of the game, like the Black folklore or whatnot, how did y'all feel about that? Again, were y'all turned away about it, specifically like some of the slavery concepts there in the early part of the game, or did that bother y'all at all, you know, specifically as, you know, Black people?
I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, because once I seen that part where, like, you know, it was kind of reminiscent of the Underground Railroad, I was like, oh, so this is what the game is giving. Okay. I didn't have a problem with that like portrayal of Mahalia. I think that was her name. It was very surprising, but I actually really liked it. The thing is, I was very much into Black history when I was in high school and when I was in college. Like, I was in NAACP. Like, I did a lot of things surrounding Black history, and I learned a lot about the struggle and like what we went through that probably not always talked about in public schools. And I kind of took a little, not a break, but I used to get so heavily invested and emotional about a lot of these like history things and a lot of the stuff that surrounds the Black culture. So I had to kind of take a step back, and I don't really like watch any movies, like, you know, all those movies that have came out of like the Black struggle and them remaking The Color Purple and like just all the slavery movies. Like, I can't watch them anymore. I just can't do it. I just feel like it's just, I just can't do it. But this game, I feel like it had a really good touch to it on how they handled it, and putting the magical aspect in it. And I do think that they also did touch a lot on like African spirituality and like kind of like well, I guess some people will call it voodoo and stuff like that. And I thought that was so interesting. Like, I did not expect the game to be in that direction. And I've done a lot of research on that too. So it was just very interesting. It was just very, very interesting. I really liked it. I haven't completed the game yet, so I don't know what more there are. I do know some of the other stories are not based on like slavery and stuff like that. But I know it'll probably turn back in come back into African spirituality in a way. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was very insightful. I thought maybe some people who play the game would not know some of this stuff, or they would probably just make jokes about it, like, oh, Harriet Tubman, she's being Harriet Tubman, like I kind of did. But like, it's kind of more than that, and it kind of makes you even more emotional, because the game, I feel like, is very emotional. Like it just, you know, it brings up a lot of traumatic stuff and stuff like that. So I like the way they integrated it. I thought it was fine. I don't know if people have people been saying they've had a problem with that, like they didn't like it.
I've heard
Probably some white people out there.
Yeah, I've even heard, you know, from some black people that, like you were saying, they might not necessarily have, you know, enjoyed, you know, constantly hearing those, you know, slavery stories over and over again. So they may not necessarily have liked that particular part, but, you know, overall they still may have enjoyed the game. But yeah. But Danny, what about you?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed a lot of these side story narratives that we're getting. Like, I know, like, the first one you really get is this, you know, slave escape kind of group, and that character is really prominent in, like, teaching you your skills. You're like, whoa, what did that lady do from the past? Did she just run on a wall? Maybe I can do that.
She was doing crazy stuff.
Yeah. And you're like,
I was like, damn.
How do
I was that family out and lost my mind. I was like, ain't no way she doing this.
How am I supposed to follow that? Like,
Yeah.
Everyone fade out, and they're just like 10 miles ahead. I'm like, oh, y'all guy over here somehow. Like, there's no moment she's like, all right, I'll be right back for you guys. We're just, you know, runs over the water. I'm like, hold on, wait, we're just people, right? What are you doing? I really enjoy those. I think, as half black guy from the middle of Pennsylvania, where there is no black culture in this world, like, I thoroughly enjoy seeing stories told like this. I don't know what Compulsion's team looks like. I know it's a Canadian studio. I don't know how many people of color on the team, or how much, you know, recruitment they brought in to like really build this, but it feels authentic. Again, as someone outside looking in who's not super familiar with this type of culture but loves the aesthetic and the vibe of it, like, this feels right to me. Someone more invested could be like, you're totally wrong, this is absolutely incorrect, appropriation, something. I wouldn't be able to tell you that. I adored seeing Hazel experience a lot of these cultural things, because she's grown up there, she's lived it, but like, this doesn't feel like the black kid learns black history along the way. Like, this is Hazel learning her history, her family history, or the people around her throughout this entire thing, or like the people that she's grown up to, you know, love, or you know, to know and find out more about them as she continues to like just go on this search for her mom. I think it's really cool seeing a lot of the other side stories that come in. Like, I think it's like every other chapter is kind of like, discover a character, help save the character, fight boss, discover character, help save character, fight boss, kind of routine. But like, you'll see and Serena, I don't know if you've met Itchy yet, and that might be coming up, so I won't go super spoiler about it, but like, Itchy's the character that I really enjoyed. He's like old cranky white dude, where I'm just like, oh, what's he going through, man? He doing this thing, and like, so not a black cultural thing, but like, it's still an impactful story that feels like I want to help this person out. Or like, you have the very first mission, right, where like, there's this giant tree and you have this epic moment of climbing it with the track that, dude, it's so sad. But this game, I had messaged my podcast partner Topher loves video game music, and like, he's always they're always showing me stuff, and I never get to show them like cool music. And I was like, Topher, I need you to check out the South of Midnight soundtrack, because like, every one of these epic moments is filled with like, they throw in this dope track that's just, it's so spiritual and badass, and it makes me feel dope, and I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. This is really sad what's happening right now, but this track fucks. Yeah. Like, it's awesome. The soundtrack is amazing, from the orchestral stuff to like the lyrical music track. Like, it's top to bottom, like, so well cared for, and feels awesome. Like, I have like 3 chapters left to go, and I'm still waiting for more things to blow my mind. I love it.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling the exact same way, because like Serena was saying, the whole, you know, appreciation of like different African spirituality, especially specifically with voodoo, because I do personally hate how, you know, a lot of, you know, African spirituality within, you know, the media, whether it be, you know, video games, movies, TV shows, or whatever the case may be, you know, it's demonized, you know. And I do really appreciate how they actually gave this, you know, aspect of African culture, you know, some reverence. I really did like that. So just seeing a lot of that stuff, and then like you were saying with what was his name, Benji, like that story, I was like, oh my god, they did this to Benji, because I'm thinking, I'm like, Benji's like what? I felt like he was probably like autistic, and then his brother was, like, you know, just got tired of dealing with him, and I was like, bro, how can you do that to him? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know, Danny, if you can attest to this. I feel like that's still the saddest story I've gotten to so far.
Yo, yeah,
I think so.
Well, actually, wait.
Like Itchy, right? Again, not spoilers. I think Itchy has a sad one.
Yeah.
But I definitely think Benji, like, I think it's the first real one you get that, like, is a character you meet and is driven that way. And I'm like, man, this Benji one's rough. And then has the awesome set piece. And we have Laurent. Look, I don't know if I don't.
Yeah, I forgot about Laurent. His story was really sad. I lied.
Yeah, and like the whole thing's really dope. I still think Benji's hits a little harder because I'm like, oh, that's that poor kid.
Yeah, because he was just so innocent.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, they're all great. Like, there's not one where I'm sitting here, I'm like, that one kind of bored me. Like, I'm trying to think. It's chapter 9, something like this. I don't know. God, Molly. I think that's the one.
That's chapter 9.
Okay.
Well, the chapter 9, I think, is the one.
Is the boss fight?
I think so. Yeah. It's the boss fight. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I stopped like
Molly,
right there.
Yeah, Molly's really cool, and like that's another moment that gives some background that then transitions into not even the back, like the current story, right? Like, this is what's happening with Hazel, not Hazel absorbing a story, which I thought was really cool. I think the one I'm at right now, I don't actively have I'm looking back on someone's story. I'm experiencing in the moment. And I'm waiting to see what that's going to tether to, like, who does this relate to in the past, or who's this connected to, right? So yeah, I definitely think Benji resonates the wrong word, because I feel like I ain't ever got treated like Benji. I ain't never had that problem. But like, definitely, I think the one that feels the most memorable, and maybe it's the first one to hit where you realize like what stakes are in these characters you're seeing. But yeah, Benji's a sad one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Speaking of the soundtrack, because I know you were discussing the soundtrack earlier, how did y'all feel about the soundtrack as a whole and how it was used throughout the game? Whether it be during, you know, boss battles, during specific moments within the game, how did the soundtrack make you feel throughout your entire playthrough?
Like I already said earlier, I love it. Every time this track, like a track kicks in and I hear like the music and then the lyrics, I'm like, hold on, everyone, I need the world. I'm shutting you out because this is all I'm in here right now. I don't need anything else. There was one moment, I think it was chapter 8, which I think right now is my favorite song, and I wish I could think of what the lyrics were so I could even just remotely mention it, but I'm just like climbing through caverns, listening to music. It was great. There's one moment where the song starts and then there's a combat in the middle of the traversal level, and then it stops and kicks in like the combat music, and then once that's done, it goes back to the track, and I was like, oh shit. I don't know if I loved that. I don't know if I loved it being interrupted. I didn't want that music during the fight, so like, maybe that fight just needed to be at the top or at the end, but that's like the one moment like through gameplay with the music that felt really jarring to me. But other than that, like there were chase scenes with the music kicking in where even when I like fell and died, like it wasn't like a record scratch, oops, start the track back over. Like the music just kept going and building the atmosphere. Like I thoroughly enjoy this track. Like this is gonna go on a Spotify, YouTube music playlist somewhere. Like, I love this track.
Yeah, just like what Danny said, I really like the soundtrack. I love how literally you finish a combat sequence and then the music just starts, or once you start seeing the strings that you got to go to that unravels the memories and things, that's when the music just kicks in. I cannot lie to you guys, after I played the last time I played and I went through the whole Jolene, literally I went to sleep and I'm like, two-toe Tom. That ain't, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like it was just good. And I think they said they had specific people record it, so that's why it's not copyrighted and all that stuff.
Yes.
But I'm not sure about all that stuff about the music, but they did a really good job. They did a really good job. Yeah, just like what Danny said, sometimes the music like stops or like it has a different tone. I noticed that in chapter 8. I didn't really notice it that much though. I just kept playing. I was just, vibing to it. I will say that though, recording or trying to play it for people and then trying to listen to the music, and then it was a lot. But yeah, I love how the lyrics tied into whatever story that was going on. Like they really made specific song for each chapter or each little memory. That's so cool.
Oh yeah,
I love when games do that. It fit the vibe so well.
Like a documentary type thing, like the little YouTube 15 minutes of like, this is how we built the soundtrack of South of Midnight, and these are the vibes we went for. And I'm double checking now to see if it exists yet, because like I'll watch that tonight. I'll put it in the chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed the soundtrack because as somebody who was heavily into music growing up, because I was in marching band and all that stuff, the music hit me to a point to where like it expressed or it amplified the feelings for me. Specifically, the first time it happened was when you're climbing up Benji and whatnot, and that song is playing. Like I was like, oh my god, this man went through that. He really went through it. And then the fact that the music kind of blends. I personally feel like the music kind of blends different genres together. So sometimes you can hear a little bit of hip hop in there. Sometimes you can hear a little bit of like bluegrass or just blues in there. I love the score of this game and like just how well it was put together. It was definitely nice. It was definitely nice.
100%.
Okay, so I think this is probably gonna be one of the most tantalizing questions. As far as the discourse around the game, because there was definitely some discourse around the game, specifically not only before it came out, but obviously like when the game came out. There were certain subsets of people that weren't necessarily happy about this game, especially with the fact that it had a black female lead. So, Sarita, let me ask you first. How did you feel specifically about the discourse around it? And again, feel free, speak your mind.
Let me cook for a second.
This one, I don't know what's going on, but like, okay, Assassin's Creed, whatever, they wanted to do that whole thing, it's whatever. But this game, I just don't understand. Like, what is the problem? They just don't like to see a black protagonist. And then I seen some people saying that they had a whole nother concept for the game and they had a white protagonist, and now they're mad that they changed the protagonist. It just doesn't make sense. The whole game is based off the Deep South and very specific black stories. There's also, diverse stories also, but very specific stories. Like, why is that a problem? If you don't like the game, don't play it. What is all this DEI nonsense? And I've been getting like comments, DEI under this and Assassin's Creed. It's just ridiculous. Like, I think people are just bored. If you don't like the game, just don't play it. And if you're looking up the game, that means you are interested. These people know they're interested. Like, just play the game. Like, you want to play the game. Just play it. It's fun. Like, and I've seen a lot of people who actually did give it a chance who are not, a person of color, and they like the game. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. I think they're bored. I think they broke. I think they're jobless. I think they're bitchless. And I think that you need to go outside and get off of Twitter and experience different cultures, different diversity. Get out of your little small ass town where nobody does anything, and experience life, experience other people. Because I don't know, it's like some people are just doing it for rage baiting, and then the other people are just, I don't know, just racist. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. Let's just be real. 100%. I just think the whole discourse around the game is just so unnecessary. But I will say that some of the discourse has brought a lot more attention to the game. So, I mean, hey, If you whatever, just play the game. Try it out yourself. And fuck Asmongold. And fuck anybody else like him, because he's a dirty, nasty rat. And
Grums, Grums, you too, man. Fuck yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Him. Been muted, been
yeah, no.
Like what? I just don't understand. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, 100%. I echo everything you just said, Serena. Like, it is so unfortunate that, like, I get the aspect of, oh no, a black protagonist, and I can only imagine you get a black female protagonist issue, like that's even more of a how often does this happen, so rare. And then when it does, it's just the world's got to melt, because such a vocal minority needs to scream from the rooftops how racist they truly are, and it's so infuriating, right? Where, like, anytime this comes up, I think back to my GameStop days, right? Of like, I could see the wall in front of me, the 360, the PS3 wall. And if someone's like, I need a game with a white protagonist, I'm like, take your fucking pick, brother. You could throw a dart and you're going to get exactly what you're looking for. And then, like, someone's like, I need a game with a black protagonist. I'm like, let me see. I got Prototype 2. I got Warhawks. It's about what I got for you, brother. Like it was so, and I'm being reductive. I'm sure there's more, but like comparably not. Yeah. Like, and the whole thing ended up being like, if you want to see yourself in games, then make your own games. So we did. People of color started making their own games, and that's great. I've loved all the ones that I've played. But then you have, the Asmongols, the Grums, who I can't wait to get my viral Twitter clip where I get to bring out the racist hordes that are all going to agree with me, and then anyone who argues with me gets shut down by my minions who are on my side. And whether these people are genuinely racist or not, or they realize if I say an offensive tweet, I get paid because Elon's algorithm makes me get money, blah, 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 blah. Like, I understand it. I don't think it's a good game to play. I think it makes you look like it makes you a super shitty person. Yeah. To just be like, I'm going to benefit financially off of calling out black people for existing is so infuriating. It's so frustrating. I say this to someone who, like, one of my favorite video game characters is Nathan Drake. I love that white man. He's fantastic. But like, a black Uncharted would be pretty nifty to me. The world won't think so. And then we got like Uncharted Lost Legacy with like Nadine and Chloe, which I'm like, let's go, ladies of color, I'm in. And like, it was such a quieter thing there. I think people complain, but nowhere near as much. Yeah. And now every time, right? Like, Serena, you mentioned like the DEI comments. When Dustborn dropped early last year, I put out a video, like I do my like, hey, this month here are like the 15 indie games releasing that you should check out. I said nothing about it. You gotta play this game. It's the best thing I've ever played. It literally was a video saying, hey guys, Dustborn is out today. And they're just like, no. Put this, who paid this guy to talk about this trash game? DEI bullshit. I turn off the comments. And then they go to my other videos about like Mika and the Witch's Mountain, which is a cute little anime Studio Ghibli delivery game. Like, turn the comments on you, coward, just because you did something wrong. I'm like, what stake do you have? Why do you care so much that I talked about this game? Why does that affect your life? And that is a overarching question for everybody who feels the need to get on the internet every day and complain about other people being black. It is so infuriating because you said it, either you're interested and you want to play the game, or you're not interested and just don't play the game. Like, it's literally two options that save you a headache, that save everybody else a headache, and they don't make you look like an asshole. And unfortunately, you decided to make a third option that makes you look like an absolute racist asshole. And I don't know why that was the path you chose.
Yeah.
Can
I just say something else? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just
so shut up.
Like, I'm sorry. Just taking like my anger out of it though, like, I just wish people could really understand like how important it is that people like me, young girls like me, older women than me, whatever, see people like them in a video game. Like, just seeing Hazel and just knowing the game was out, like, it means something to me. Okay, it means something to me, like, deeply. Like, having another Black woman protagonist is like, damn, now I can really look back. I can cosplay her. I can, without getting racist comments, I can, like, you know, talk about her so much, and then maybe get other young Black girls into gaming or whatever. Like, it really means something. And I wish these people would just be more empathetic towards people like us. Like there's just been so much discourse about just Black people in general and gaming and being in places on Twitch and YouTube. And it's like, I don't understand how people just cannot understand that we just don't have these spaces. We just don't have these opportunities as much as others. And why can't we advocate for that? I don't understand why it's such a bad thing for us to advocate to see ourselves in gaming, just like all the other thousands and thousands of white characters. Like, what is the problem with that, you know? And I know a lot of people are rage baiting, whatever, but yeah, it just really means something to me and other girls I specifically know that are, you know, Black or who are darker skinned. Like, it's just, it means something, especially a darker Black woman protagonist. Like, that really means something. It just does. And I don't know, it just makes me so emotional, because it's just like, after you take the anger out of it on how disgusting these people are being, why can't we just have something for us? Why can't we just enjoy something wholeheartedly without being told that we can't have a Black protagonist? It just doesn't make sense, you know? And I just want to let any Black girls out there, any people of color, darker skinned women, like, I see y'all, and, you know, I don't know, hopefully one day I can make a game and like just put a bunch of Black characters in there. I don't know, like,
get it.
I just wish for the culture this could just be way more wholehearted, instead of us having to talk about these racist and, you know, DEI shit. I don't know, but yeah.
But like, I just don't, I understand like why they do it, and in the sense that like y'all said, it's just really just rage bait, you know. But at the same time, you always hear, you know, that sentiment like, oh, why don't y'all make y'all own characters, or whatever the case may be. But when we do, y'all sit here and still getting your feelings. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like you're literally being mad, you know, either way you put it. So it's like y'all said, we just need to continue to create our own spaces, and that's not saying that, you know, any other group is not, you know, allowed to play these games or whatever the case.
It's not to be exclusive.
Yeah,
it's not to cut people out. It's to make things like. So I was gonna say, Serena, you're like, let us have something for us. It doesn't. You guys can play it. We want you to play it.
Exactly.
We just don't want you to be racist about it.
Exactly.
We just want you to enjoy the shit or don't like it. Like, that's fine. You can play our Black games. Get some culture. Just don't be like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, don't be a dickhead.
Right.
I don't think
and you can
so.
be honest about it. Like, if you really didn't like the game, you really didn't like the game. But like, we can tell when your reviews are rooted in racism, because I don't know, it's just like, why do you not want to learn more about different people and different stories? Like, do you want to just hear the same stories over and over and over again? Like,
please,
I don't
I need big strong man kill Nazis in game. Let's go. Every game.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And you know what's crazy? And because you brought this up earlier, Sarita, where the discourse behind Assassin's Creed caused the game to succeed so well, and I feel like the same thing is happening here, you know, where like all the discourse is actually causing the game to get more, you know, popularity. And like, I hate to say it, but it turned out to be a good thing, you know. But I think
it's sitting at very positive on Steam right now.
Yeah,
with like 1,000 reviews, so I'll take that.
Yeah, it's just
very positive. There we go.
I just wish that they would just, you know, just stop. Get your head out your ass and just play the game, enjoy it. If you don't like it, you know, you don't like it. There's nothing wrong with giving constructive criticism. There are a couple gripes that I have about the game, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, the important thing about this game was that we have, you know, a Black protagonist, you know, that we can actually see ourselves in and, you know, actually enjoy. So yeah. My next question. If you could talk directly to the developers, what would you thank them for, and what would you want them to change if there is a future sequel to the game? You know, and that could be, you know, whether it's gameplay, story, you know, whatever the case may be.
Ooh boy. Is it my turn to go first? I lost track.
Me too. But I think it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh man, let me tell you. My content is so rooted in indie focus, and Compulsion is this like this victory lap story of we were an indie studio, we made Contrast, we made We Happy Few, and then got bought by Xbox. So they're one of the few that took the jump from indie to AAA. So it's very exciting for me. Where like my content's like technically I can't really cover this game because it's AAA, but also there's a legacy to it. We love it. So I of course would the congratulations of hey, way to get your bag, way to get in that green box money, baby. Like run that Xbox pocket, do it. But I would love to thank them for Contrast being their first game that they released. I remember it releasing on PlayStation Plus back when the PS4 dropped. I think it's this great like noir styled platformer that paved the way for just the future of their games. And then with We Happy Few being such a cool stylistic game that didn't really hit for me, but like I think a lot of people do love. It's like a cult classic to many. But yeah, I would thank Compulsion just for putting in the effort and getting recognized by like an Xbox and being able to take the steps to build something even bigger and better that absolutely was my speed. I think they're doing great work here, and they're going to continue to do great work. In terms of like a sequel to like a South of Midnight, having not finished it and not knowing how Hazel's story goes here in these last couple chapters, I wouldn't mind seeing another character of like, you know, what are this person's story, and like, you know, I don't need to see the mom get washed away again in the sequel, we got to save her a second time, or you know, whatever. But if we're talking a gameplay thing, I wouldn't mind the combat being tweaked a little bit. Just be like, if this was the blueprint of what can we do for combat moving forward, and they're like, cool, now we've locked this down, now we step it up for a sequel. That's probably my biggest thing. In terms of how they built the world, how they did everything visually, I don't want them to touch a damn thing. You did everything perfect, and I don't want them to change anything. Combat a little bit would be cool if it was a little more fleshed out and a little more in depth. Not by much, just a little less clunky. That's really all I got.
Serena, what about you?
Yeah, I would say to them, thank you for taking a chance on this game. I don't know how it came about. I don't know who wrote the story first, if they came up with the designs first. I don't know what happened, but they did it great. I've never played We Happy Few or what was the other game? Contrast?
Contrast, yep.
Contrast. I've never played those games, but I have seen We Happy Few a couple times, and I thought that was a very unique game. So that when I heard that they made this game, I was like, wow, I wonder what the difference is gonna be. But I really like the game. Just like what Danny said, I hope that they do a little bit more with the combat, but honestly, they could keep it. It's fine. As long as the story is like still good, then I'm still rocking with them. I also tweeted this out today, but Compulsion, please make a crouton plushie.
Yes.
That
Oh
would
my
sell
God.
out. That would sell out.
I'll take
I
3.
buy it. Yes, make a crouton plushie. Like, I want the merch. Drop the merch. What else would I say? I think they did such a great job at keep it at the length that it is, 10 hours, please. I have a job and I cannot be playing the game this long. I really like how it's linear. Also, I love how they did the linear thing. Like, even if you go to the side a little bit, you're never getting lost. I love that. What can I say? Yeah, I gotta finish the game to really, like, I don't know, give a little bit maybe constructive criticism or something. I know a couple of people who have, well, not a couple, I know some people who have finished the game, and I did hear them say that it left a little bit to be desired. So I don't know if that they're setting it up for a second game or whatever. But yeah, I would definitely like to see maybe another protagonist, maybe Hazel showing up a little bit more, because I don't see how this story would go to a second game or something like that. But we'll see. Yeah, I would just say thank you for taking the chance on Hazel. I love the design, everything that you guys did with her. I think it is great. I love the other side characters. Yeah, that's what I would say.
All right, bet. I have some of the exact same sentiments. Again, I would like to tell them, you know, for one, great job as far as, you know, representing, you know, Black culture, you know, Black folklore, especially specifically Southern Black folklore, because obviously from a lot of the the game dev videos or whatnot. The entire team at Compulsion is not it's not all black, so obviously they probably had to do their research, and I appreciate them for doing the proper research and properly representing the characters, the expressions of how Hazel carries herself. I definitely like that, because again, it makes us as black people really appreciate and see ourselves in not only Hazel but other characters, because yes, you can sit there and create a black character, but that doesn't necessarily mean that character is going to feel like a black person within your story. So again, I really appreciate them for taking the time to do the proper research, if you will. But yeah, those were pretty much all the questions. I guess I would ask y'all one last thing. Overall, as far as your experience with everything that you've seen so far, were there any cons with it, whether it be like gameplay, story, or anything? Was there anything that you just necessarily just didn't like? Yeah, Serena, if you want to go first.
Honestly, I could say yeah, sometimes I don't know if it was my mouse, I don't know if it's my keyboard, but sometimes when I was pressing some buttons, I swear it was not happening. I don't know what that's about. So I would say that it could be my PC also, I don't know. And also, oh my gosh, the thorns in the game.
Oh my
Those
God.
thorn things,
Yeah.
those are the most annoying. Leave them out the next game, please.
Oh my goodness!
It's like
I got the little
hitbox.
plushie killed so many times because of that.
Like, I don't know if it's like the hitbox in the game. Like, I don't know if the hitbox of some of the things were like too big, because I swear I wasn't near some of them sometimes. I hate the thorns. And then when you go into the memory, once you finish the memory and you get the whole full story of one of the stories or whatever, you go through the little running sequence.
Oh yeah.
That, it was cool.
Yeah.
But I could have done without it. Maybe something different there.
It was cool.
Like, I don't know. I don't know what it could be. So I can't even, I can't say anything, but maybe something different there, because especially like once you learn about the wall running, it was like multiple wall running. I'm like, oh my God, you gotta do this. Like, and then the thorn ones are just, so just leave the thorn ones out, please. Leave the thorns. Yeah. But that's about it. I gotta finish the game if I want to give some more. So
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the thorn. The thorn sucked. I think my beef was the mushrooms.
Oh
Those
yeah.
are the ones I hated more.
Don't get me started. No, the mushrooms
Where I'm
are
just
worse.
like, I didn't see one. And I'm like, here we go. And then just, but then like they wouldn't pop the rest. So I'd get thrown into another one that would then pop me back to this side. I'm like, okay, all right, that's enough. Enough of the mushrooms, please. Yeah, those. And I want to echo, because I totally forgot about the chase sequences, because they're fine, but they're not, they're prominent. I think the reason they're not prominent is because the cutscene kicks in, you're like, uh-oh, giant storm monster behind me. But then the camera is facing forward and you're being chased by something, but you're not seeing it. Yeah. So those stakes are really lost in those moments. Like the amount of times I've tried to stop and turn my camera so I'm running into it like an old Crash Bandicoot level to try and like get that vibe of, oh, I know what I'm running from, but that makes it impossible to do the platforming, to see what's coming ahead and do all that stuff. So yeah, I think if that was more like a isometric 3/4 kind of view to like give you the stakes of the fact you're running from something as opposed to just running forward, I think that could really hype those up and make them more memorable. Other than that, I mean, like, yeah, I've mentioned multiple times the combat is fine. I don't think it has to be anymore. I think it'd be great if it was. But yeah, if we got a sequel tomorrow and it was the exact same combat, I wouldn't have much to complain about. Other than wish it changed a little, but like, yeah, so just some of the few little like annoyances that should be there in this real, like this weird world, like the thorns, the mushrooms, but like, yeah, I'd so I don't think you've seen it yet, but in the swamp level, there's some giant flowers, like fly traps, and I may have a clip of being like, "Hey, Crouton, jump in there."
Oh my God!
I just wanted to see. I just wanted to see.
Crazy.
I just wanted to see. That might be
Don't
on
send
Blue
him a
Sky
crouton
later.
plushie, please. Don't. Send
No,
him
please. I really want one. I really want a crouton
No.
plushie. Listen. Because like I got the cutie one from It Takes Two over there, but like crouton gonna be a thick bitch. Like I want this big
No,
old
for
plushie,
real.
man. Yeah.
Oh yeah. For me, like same exact things. You know, the mushrooms, thorns. That definitely got on my nerves. But specifically for me, it's the combat, because I was under the impression before the game came out that it was going to be like a Souls-like game. So, but obviously that's just my preconception of the game. But I would definitely say, you know, change the combat and not make it so repetitive, because it seems as if the only time that you're really fighting is whenever you go into those areas that you have to heal. I would like a bit more, you know, I would like, you know, a bit more randomness to combat, like, oh, an enemy just pops up here or something like that. You know, just
More spontaneity.
Yeah. Instead of just in those specific areas where you got to heal them to get the story and whatnot. I would just like a little bit more than that. Not saying that the way they did it is wrong, but, you know, just change it up a little bit, you know. Yeah. But yeah, right. Thank y'all for, you know, tuning in and discussing this game with me. I really appreciate y'all for that. Y'all do not forget to follow soCerena and CGDannyB on their socials and whatnot. They are amazing streamers and content creators. Thank y'all again for tuning in and discussing this with me. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Don't ever call me again.
That's crazy. If you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. I really wanted to bring this discussion forward, especially coming from a group of Black streamers, to essentially get our perspective about this game. Like we said in the video itself, this game isn't necessarily perfect, and that's okay. But what matters is the representation that this game brings forward. Because in all honesty, as we all know, a lot of the gaming industry and gamers in and of themselves don't necessarily like it when there's a Black protagonist. So it's nice when game developers actually like to take a step in the right direction, especially when it comes to representation for Black people, Black women, and people of color. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to go ahead and hit that like button and share it out to all your friends, so that way they can get to hear some Black content creators' perspective about South of Midnight. And if you're interested in future content of mine, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then ring the bell to receive notifications, so that way you know every time I happen to upload a brand new video. And if you want to catch me live, again, I usually stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's twitch.tv/NerdStorm92. So again, thank you so much for watching the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.